She insists it's Bird Road, so just dummy up. Noon to 1, they'll be at Big Daddy's on Bird Road. At 5 to 6 this afternoon, Flanagan's, 732 Northeast 125th Street, North Miami. That's your chance to register for the 610 WIOD Miller Lite. Kick your way to the Super Bowl registration thing, and you know how that works. You must be 21 years old or registered, and you might get your name yanked out. How about those Panthers?
Oh!
All right. They are kicking ass in the league, babe. Too bad they're leaving. They are just kicking ass. Doug McClain for president. See, now that Colin Powell's out, let's get somebody who shows some real leadership. Doug McClain for president. He's got my vote. Is he an American citizen? Probably not. Atlantic Coast Mortgage is where you can go when you've been turned down for a loan elsewhere. Since 1982, Atlantic Coast Mortgage has helped people get the cash they need for home improvements and other purchases. They can help you if you got credit problems or income problems. In fact, Atlantic Coast Mortgage can get you financing regardless of your income. How do you like that? Call 1-800-281-3164. Talk to Michael or Art today. 1-800-281-3164. The best part is there's never any application fee. Atlantic Coast Mortgage is a licensed mortgage brokerage business that can get you a first or second mortgage at the lowest rates going out there. They check daily with 50 lenders to find the best deal waiting for you. So if you've been turned down when you needed money, call Atlantic Coast Mortgage today. I think you're going to be in for a pleasant surprise. Call 1-800-281-3164.
It snows and the wind blows right through you. They lost the World Series. They lost Jazz McKay. And now they've lost their football team. Tragic trip number 9. The mistake by the lake. Listen for this sound. See ya! And qualify for tragic trip number 9.
Honey, we're
oh my God, it's Cleveland. From News, Talk, and Entertainment Radio. 610 WIOD.
Okay, 1025 at WIOD. Look at that phone there, baby. What's happening in Broward? The usual malaise there in Broward. This phone should be lit up, every light on the board, and then we should have people like standing on line, like taking a number today at the bakery. One open line in Dade, 751 WIOD. All of Broward. Look at that. 524-9463. I guess that shows where their allegiances are in Broward, right? Here's Hollywood on the purple line. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Welcome home.
Yeah.
Hi, Brian Cox isn't gay?
There's a rumor going around.
Wow. Anyway.
Yeah.
Isn't it wild to go anywhere else?
All I know, Phil was making a point that when a guy comes on the air and when he says to another man,
suck my
what are you going to think about that?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I think Phil's got a good point there, Rachel.
Hey, last time I went to Vegas, man, that is like paradise.
It is.
And then you come back here and you find out this place doesn't have a rhyme or reason. They don't have a clue of what's going on. It's terrible.
Yeah. And you should have seen, we came back through Houston.
Mm-hmm.
And the flight from Houston to Fort Lauderdale, if you could have seen the sea of blue here, no matter where you're coming from, the flight to Fort Lauderdale, there's like 80 people with walkers and canes crawling on their hands. Yeah, exactly. That's what it's all about. Oh, my God.
We just came back from San Francisco and went over to Lake Tahoe. And when we got back here, we flew into Miami, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
There's people who actually speak English in this country.
The MGM Grand, which I've been in there, I was there the day it opened, in fact, a couple of years ago, but I've never stayed there before.
Right.
The rooms are so fantastic. They have so many elevators. You never wait more than 15 seconds for an elevator, even as big. They got 5,000 rooms in that place. The food is sensational. There's like 80 million tables. The sports book is gigantic. They got 50 billion slot machines. I mean, and the people in there are like almost all living and breathing. Millions of young people, old people in between, but they're all like, happening people having a great time. It's frightening.
It's good because they're targeting young families, but they're doing a lot with they had that amusement park out there. And
that's right.
Families out there. It's amazing. It's an amazing town.
Place is jam-packed.
But I tell you what, you're right. They say they try to suck people in to go down to the downtown, which is 10 times odds.
Forget it. That place, I didn't see anybody cashing anything in that joint, and it's just real dingy and grungy and all the dregs of human. That's terrible.
If you look, as Vegas started in North Vegas and it worked its way down, it looks like a big animal that just pooped on its way down south. All the crap is left up there. They should just go bulldoze the whole
thing.
I
think that's up north.
What's that?
I think that's north, though.
Yeah, right, North Vegas.
Yeah.
As it worked its way down from the old time, you could see what was left, like relics back there.
Oh, you mean downtown is what the falling
terrible.
out. Mm-hmm.
Well, what'd you win? How much you win? $1,000?
No, I won $500, but I was losing over $1,000 up until Saturday, and then I made a big comeback and won $500. My friend John won over $1,000, so we had a good time.
Oh, great. Well, nice to have you back.
Thanks, pal.
Take care.
Have a great life. 2. Open line on the purple line, AT&T wireless line, pound IOD, and one on the green line, 1-800-944. What are we going to do about this Rachel Alexander? What are we going to do about Brian Cox? What are we going to do about Don Shula? I mean, I know they're still 6-4. There's a long way to go. How about those Cowboys? Oh, my God, Elvis Grbac. That was unbelievable. That was unbelievable. You know, I watched some of that yesterday when I got back, and I'm looking at that, and I'm thinking, what is this all about? Well, Aikman got hurt early in the game. Okay, that's a good excuse. What was that all about? Elvis Grbac couldn't hit the wide side of a barn from 2 feet away with a goddamn kumquat. I mean, this guy is unbelievable. And they're up before you know it, like 24-0, and it was no contest. No contest. Also, I got to get a couple of spy reports. We got to find out about that tape, that Randy tape that we played on Friday. Oh, you were here, right? And what about it? Was there any rhyme or reason for playing it? I mean, was it entertaining? Was it... It sucked. Okay. And then about that Smokers, I don't even know what that show is, that Smokers thing that's on Sunday night, which there's a memo on the door there about all the response we got. What is that show? Did you hear any of it?
No.
So we'll get a spy report, maybe, if anybody heard it. I doubt it. Here's a mobile in Deerfield. Hello.
Hey, Neil. How you doing?
Okay.
Just want to let you know we went to the hockey game. I took Lisa to the hockey game Friday night.
Right.
We had a blast.
Friday night?
Or Saturday night.
Saturday yeah.
night. Very exciting.
Biggest crowd of the year, I see. That's because Rick Riley was there.
Anyway, we had a great time. Very action-packed. I've got her hooked, so we'll be going a lot more.
You better go a lot when you can.
Dolphin game sucked.
Yeah.
We went to that also, and that blew.
Uh-huh.
And Danny can't win a game when he breaks the record. This guy, he's the choke meister.
Yeah, they're all excited about him breaking these individual records. I think that most of the fans would gladly trade all of his individual records for even like getting in the Super Bowl again would be good.
Just get there to get killed, that's all. Just let us get there. Anyways, I'm out of material, Neil.
Okay.
Take care.
Get a new phone. Open line in Broward, 524-9463, 524-WIOD. So the Panthers really been kicking ass. They've won 6 in a row. They got 26 points. They're 13-4. They've got 26 points. And the sad part of it is that they're on their way somewhere. Maybe to Nashville, maybe to who knows where. I was going to say on their way to San Jose, and I'm sure the fans there would gladly swap because the Sharks couldn't get arrested in the panty raid in Fort Lauderdale. But the bottom line is now with sports, and I've told you it's all over. I hate to tell you that, but it's all over. Every day now, you open up the paper, Bud Adams is threatening to move. He's moving Houston in 2 years, the Oilers, to Nashville. And the Astros are going to Nashville unless they have like 5 billion people there a game next season. And all this other crap. And Art Modell's going to Baltimore. And Winnipeg is moving out of the Jets are going to Minnesota, maybe or not. And the Panthers are moving to Nashville or not. And, it's musical teams now. How the hell are you going to have any loyalty? Then this is a situation created by the owners and the players and the agents with all these big salaries, and all of a sudden it got out of control. They were losing their ass because of their own stupidity, and we're supposed to suffer for it? You think there's been a rebellion against sports this past year with mainly the baseball thing. You just wait, man. You ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen nothing yet. Here's a good name for a song. Here's Hollywood. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
I happened to listen to Smoke This last night, wanting to listen to Dr. Demento. And I tell you
Smoke
what, really
This. That's the name of the show. Smoke This?
Yeah, it really stunk.
I thought that's what Brian said to Phil Hendrie.
Suck my
Yeah, Smoke This.
Well, the reason why is because it's like it was all about the cigar crap. You know, who wants to hear that?
It's a show about cigars?
Yeah.
I mean, I like smoking cigars, but I don't know what there is to hear about them.
I mean, they were talking about how you roll it, how you tell about the moisture and all this crap.
They were talking. Are you sure they were talking about cigars?
Yeah, I'm serious.
Yeah.
And I just wish they would just keep that crap off the air.
How to roll cigars? That should be on like WQBA or something on some Julio station.
Yeah.
They're big into rolling cigars, the Julios.
Well, it's like I'd rather hear like tapes of you or the best of Neil or the best of Phil or even
Oh, you'll be able to hear plenty of tapes of me pretty soon when I go on vacation. There's plenty of tapes coming, pal.
All right.
And just to make you even happier, the best of Phil this afternoon from 2 to 6.
Cool. All righty, thanks, Neil.
Okay, thanks for the report. Okay. So in other words, the show sucked. I didn't say that. See, they're going to get all bent out of shape. He didn't even hear the show, and he's ripping it. I'm not ripping anything. I just am looking for some spy reports. Maybe a lot of people loved it. The only thing is, now, stop and think about this. Oh, I say, just as I said that, George put a cigar in his puss. Now, he's not going to smoke it, of course, because smoking's not allowed in the building, any more than I'm smoking the one I got in my hand right now. But what percentage of people do you think smoke cigars?
Small, but that's the latest trend.
Well, yeah, but only 10% of women. No, actually, women are smoking those little ones now. They like having something small in their mouth. But anyway, I'll pass. But anyway...
I'll take yours.
Yeah. No, seriously, what percentage of people really do you think are cigar smokers, no matter how trendy it might be? Now, 10% of...
We're not talking about women.
Okay, sorry. He gets very upset. Here's... Didn't we just do Hollywood, or am I dreaming now? Yeah, you're too busy playing with that cigar. Here's Miami. Hello.
Hi, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Listen.
Wait a minute. Do you smoke cigars?
Sometimes.
Oh, okay. There you go. Let's keep a poll on this. I got you down.
If it looks like a duck and plays like a duck, it must be Brian Cox.
Yeah, so let him suck my duck. Right. Exactly.
Have a nice day, Neil.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, everybody's real upset for you with Brian Cox, okay? And, of course, they're trying desperately. I'm sure this is something he hatched up over there at QAM, looking to get some publicity and try to drum up some support. I punched over to them like for 10 seconds this morning. Must have been right at 9 o'clock. And the kids they've got on the air not only sound like they're 10 years old, but now they sound like they're on helium. Super Saber weather, blah, blah, blah. And I just don't understand it. They sound like 10-year-olds on helium. And that's QAM, and they think they got a goddamn radio station over there? And we got a guy doing the hockey games who's doing a woo, 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 woo. What is that? Chris Moore on drugs or something? I mean, what is that all about? So, Brian, you can keep trying all you want, baby, but you're on the losing side, on the field, off the field, everywhere, just like the Dolphins, man, okay? So when Shula packs up and leaves town, he can stick you in his big suitcase and take, I'm sure a lot of people would agree, okay? Take you right along with him. Take your stupid, ugly ass right along with him. Here's Boynton Beach. Hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Okay.
I'm just calling. I was hoping to call you today and thank you for the hockey tickets on Thursday night to the Oilers game.
Yeah.
But there's only one problem.
Well, this is the guy you're looking for, George. This is the guy that drove all the way down here, did not get the tickets because George screwed up.
So I can tell him what I got.
Yeah, don't go away at the end.
All right. I was just...
Go ahead. You can embarrass me on the air. Then I'll...
Oh, wait a minute. Did you hear that? Oh, this guy, listen, we're going to more than make up for it. You're going to register for the tragic trip. We're going to give you tickets to another game. We're going to give you meals at the Pizza Hut. We're going to make up for it 10 times over because George is a butt plug.
That's cool.
How do you like that?
That's great.
And I apologize profusely for George being such an asshole and forgetting to leave your tickets.
Yeah, I was...
Guy drove all the way down here from Boynton Beach, and George forgot to leave him his tickets.
And took off the night at work and everything.
Nice.
But that's all. I just wanted to call you to let you know that's what happened.
So also, when you do come down to get your other stuff, which I guarantee will be here, we're going to tie George up, put him in a corner, and let you beat him about 20 times over the head with the 2x4. How's that?
Just a 2x4?
With a hockey stick.
That'll work.
Okay, hang on. Okay, we'll make up to you.
All right, thanks.
There's a guy in 8 who you were looking for, okay? See, and he called me. He didn't call you. He called me because he knew that I would take care of it. He knew if he called you, you'd make an excuse. We have an open line at Broward, 524-9463, 524 WIOD. Boy, you go out of town for a couple of days, just for a long weekend. And you come back, man, and the spit hits the fan. It's incredible. And here's this Rachel Alexander writing this almost tearful column about poor Brian Cox, who's making millions of dollars and going out there and making a jackass out of himself and getting a lot of stupid penalties, and which he has consistently, by the way, since he's been on the team, in spite of all the talk about what a great linebacker he is and all the great plays that he almost makes. But he goes out there and makes a jackass and a fool out of himself over and over and over again. But Rachel's on his side because I guess you don't like Phil. Now, didn't Andy Cal bring that bitch in here that day? That was the day that I was out there in the hallway screaming and yelling with Steve Nickel in the hall, and that was the day that Andy, this is his good close buddy, Rachel Alexander, better known as Brandy to some of her close personal friends. And she allegedly loves my show, and she loves Phil, and yada, yada. They all give you that song and dance to your face, but, boy, when they get a chance to give you a good shot right in the back, man, where it hurts the most, there's Rachel right on it, right on top of it. 1037 at WIOD. Every accessory you need for your car or for your truck, where you're going to find it, you know by now, don't you? You ought to know, unless you're deaf. And if you're deaf, why are you listening to the show? You'll find them all at Ideal Automotive and Truck Accessories at 701 Northwest 57th Place in Fort Lauderdale, where they got that gigantic 30,000 square foot warehouse that is packed with everything under the sun, and then some. You want a bed liner? Ideal's got the latest non-skid bed liners at the best prices in town, starting from just $169 installed. Over 2,000 of them in stock. A bed liner will help increase the resale value of your truck. Ideal's got running boards painted to match your truck and installed for all you truckers out there. You'll find all kinds of bug shields for cars and trucks. Ideal Automotive's got toolboxes, they got your visors, they got your light covers, camper tops, and all the others. And the best part of the deal, not only great selection, so they got just about everything you're looking for, but unbeatable wholesale prices to go along with it. So stop by and see them or call Ideal Automotive and Truck Accessories toll-free, 1-800-621-6464. That's 1-800-621-6464.
This station is testing its emergency broadcast system equipment. The EBS will soon be replaced with the emergency alert system. The EAS will provide timely emergency warnings. This station serves the Miami-Fort Lauderdale area. This concludes this emergency broadcast system test. The opinions expressed by the host, guests, or callers on WIOD are not necessarily those of the station or its sponsors. All WIOD programs are copyright 1995 by WIOD Incorporated. No tape recordings or transcripts may be created or distributed without prior written consent of WIOD Incorporated.
You son of a... This is the Neil Rogers Show. This is your brain. Any questions?
It's the most controversial topic on Capitol Hill, and later today you'll hear the debate live on C-SPAN.
I still can't believe my Republican brothers are supporting a bunch of homos.
Mr. Helms, that's HMO, not HOMO.
Oh, can I change my vote?
Yes, the confusing debate over health care continues, and you'll hear it live later today on C-SPAN.
Suck my...
Okay, 1042 at WIOD, and let's smoke right along here, shall we? Because smoking cigars is in. Cigarettes are bad, they'll kill you. But smoking cigars is in. Just ask us, we'll tell you. Here's Miami. Hello.
How's it going, Neil?
Great.
You have a good vacation? That's nice to hear.
It was not a vacation. It was just a preview of my vacation. This was just a 3-dayer in Vegas.
Just a little test.
I was just warming up for vacation.
That's good. Listen,
by the way, do you smoke cigars?
Not personally. My dad did.
Okay. Wait, he did? Now he's dead?
Now he's dead.
Oh, see what I mean?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. Okay, well, listen, since you were gone Friday, you must have missed Sports Talk, and Mandich gave DeFo a ripping like I've never heard in my life.
Mandich gave DeFo a ripping?
Chastisement.
Now, this was before Michigan beat Purdue 5-0.
Exactly.
In front of 103,000 people at Ann Arbor against the girls' school and squeaked by 5-0 on Saturday.
And after Monday, when he said to DeFo that he didn't want to talk about it, it was done, the whole thing, the scenario with Brian Cox in the locker room where they...
Oh, I got to hear about this. I have to hear all the details on this.
Oh, okay, this is unbelievable. Mandich starts the show... DeFo starts the show with a real nice, jovial attitude, and he's ready to go on.
As always.
Right, exactly. So Mandich goes, now, wait a minute. And I want to get this straight. What side are you on?
Wait a minute. What side is he on?
Exactly. What side are you on? Are you on the side of the Dolphins? Are you on WIOD's position side?
Oh, my God. WIOD's position side on a station that rips the management more than any station in the history of broadcasting, and WIOD has got a position?
Well, so then DeFo tries to calm him down. But Mandich goes, no, stop kissing my ass, DeFo. Stop kissing my ass, DeFo.
Stop kissing my ass and start...
Yeah, like, stop the foreplay.
Yeah.
And then he says...
Get right down to it.
Exactly. And then he says... what does WIOD stand for? And immediately in my head, I hear Center One, AIDS research. Helping people with AIDS, helping the homeless in previous years. And that's what I'm thinking. And he's going, what does WIOD stand for? Nothing.
What does that mean?
Don't ask me. I mean, I guess he's trying to insult he's trying to say, because WIOD would be so low to play with a thing as brittle.
We're playing with a thing?
As Cox's ego, yeah, exactly.
So, in other words, Mandich got his head up Brian Cox's ass? Is that what you're telling me?
Basically.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And it got
I was a fan of Mandich.
And it got nasty?
Yeah.
And what did DeFo say?
DeFo said, well, I know you're the biggest, you and I both, he goes, are the biggest fans of Phil Hendrie and what he does. And he goes, don't bring personalities into this.
Really?
Says Mandich. Don't bring personalities in. I mean, he was really livid. He was livid.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. God, I'd give anything to hear that.
Till the Don Shula show started, and then, that calms Mandich.
Then he started getting that tongue out again.
Exactly.
Waxing it up.
Exactly.
Incredible.
Unbelievable. Well, I just wanted to tell you about that.
Unbelievable.
And,
well, thanks for the good news. I'm sure we'll hear lots more.
Yeah, please do it.
Well, I wonder what side he's on.
Yeah.
He's on the Dolphin ass-licking side is the side that he's on.
Well, you know what I don't understand?
I wonder how much the Dolphins are paying him. Last time I checked, he gets his paycheck from this place. At least one of his checks.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, where do his real loyalties lie?
Not with this place.
Yeah. Or the team he used to play on years ago.
Right, that's it.
You know, and another thing...
I'm going to tell you one thing. This is an inside story.
Yeah.
I know personally the coach has threatened him that if he comes down on IOD side and on any of these issues, locker room is off limits to him after the game. No more showering with the guys.
No more showering.
Right.
That's too bad. I tell you what.
Now you're hitting the man where it really hurts.
Exactly. What I don't understand about Brian Cox is the most important, most pivotal people in history have not been beyond being just about insulted.
Right, he's a public figure, and not only that, but he goes out of his way to make himself a public figure more than anybody on the Dolphins except maybe Marino. This guy's in the news all the time. He's sticking his finger to the fans in Buffalo. He's controversial. He's a maniac, and all of a sudden he's beyond criticism.
Exactly. Well, he needs to grow some
he thinks he's talking about racism. It's not the color of his skin. It's the thickness of it. That's the problem.
Exactly.
Too thin skin. That's the problem, Brian. It's not the dark skin. It's the thin skin.
Exactly.
Here's a thin skin with a pig skin. That's the problem.
Well, anyways...
well, thanks for the report. You did a great job.
No problem, Neil. Take it easy.
Have a great life.
Later.
Oh, my God. One of the greatest contretemps in the history of the human race. Even Frank Wright would be impressed if he were alive. He's dead? We have an open line in Dade, 751. Who's Frank Wright? Yeah, he used to wear the silly hats with Chelsea Candy on the horse racing stuff.
With all the media options out there, how does a single radio station earn the title of being best? You do everything you have to. You go wherever you need to. And you do it every day. The best news. News, talk, and entertainment radio. 610 WIOD.
I'm going to start on this theme, and I'm going to rap on it all year long.
Hello.
Do you believe in truth in advertising?
Yes, sir.
You do? Okay. Don't you think we, as a station, have been perpetrating a fraud? Don't you think there should be a disclaimer there?
It's gone a little too far.
I think so.
No question.
I think it's way over the line, and I and you should be embarrassed
DeFo sucking around.
for the work at our station.
I don't know that I'm embarrassed. I mean, you know, I'm a big Phil Hendrie fan, as you are.
Now, don't start personalities. I come from a do or do not. It's a binary world. It's right and wrong. And I find you on the side of the infidel.
You know, you handled it as well as it could be. And you know, you're going to hear...
Don't go buttering up. Don't go
I'm not buttering you up.
Don't go kissing
but
my ass.
I agree with you to this extent.
You are a chameleon. Okay, you're like
He's right about that. And you're sucking his ass right now.
No balls, DeFo. And then you got lining.
There's
on
no
the
winning
inside.
it. I mean, you got your analogies, and I'm going to lose this war. Huh? But you would have to agree that if Brian Cox was going to express himself and his dissatisfaction with what was going on with WIOD, that was not the appropriate forum or the method.
I do not apologize for the remarks. The remarks
he
were wrong.
apologized for them.
But I know the wellspring from which those remarks come.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Right. There you go.
It is out of frustration.
Covering up for the uncoverable. What an asshole, Mandich. What a suckhole.
Well, he's got one now. According to the stories in the paper. And hopefully this thing will go away. I think actually Barry Jackson said it right. Time to get a new thing to jump on.
And let me ask you this.
Yes, sir.
Bigger question. Where do we stand? Is a relationship with the Miami Dolphins important to us?
I would think so.
It is the property of the Miami Dolphins. We are the flagship station of the Miami Dolphins,
Whoopie-doo.
right? Not that you have to kiss up, not that you have to suck.
So why do you keep doing it?
Suck up.
Why do you keep sucking it, man?
But you don't put the franchise and everybody associated with it in play all day, every day, and kick it around.
There's nothing wrong with criticism if it's valid. I think
we stand for nothing.
It went a little too far.
This station stands for nothing.
I wouldn't go that far. It stands for you and me. We're going to have a good time on the program tonight. That's why we're here, man, Doug.
Oh, my God. Just unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Exactly. Is that incredible or what, huh? This station stands for nothing. And you got to take your sides, you know. And, of course, even though they're paying the paycheck, I'm not saying be a shill for anybody. That's why I tell you exactly the way it is. These people are a bunch of grave robbers here. They're just brutal. But on the other hand, they do sign my paycheck. So if I have to choose between them and the goddamn stinking Dolphins, you saw what a tough choice that was. Dolphins don't put any money in my pocket. On the contrary, took a lot out for 4 or 5 years there and gave me back a bunch of mediocre games week after week after week, plus lack of sense of humor, a lack of having any kind of a cohesive brain. And then when Mandich had me on that show a couple of times, and then you notice the last time I was in there on that round table with him and that suckhole Eric, Reed, and I used the term the brainstem, and I said to Mandich, I think your views are a little bit skewed here, too many showers with the coach. That's the last time I was ever on that show. You can go to the bank on that. Because in Mandich's world, you have to, if you're going to be involved in any way with his Dolphins, which I guess you don't realize he's not the tight end anymore. He don't wear no uniform, although he does wear a jockstrap during the broadcast. That's why his voice gets so goddamn high.
You jackass.
But I'm telling you, this guy don't understand it. He's not part of the Dolphins anymore. He has no objectivity whatsoever. And to have a man stand there with a live microphone in his face and say,
"Suck my d-,"
and then to defend it and try to cover up for it and try to rationalize it like, well, he understands everything that's behind that. Right. Here's an overpaid big jock who, if he weren't playing football, might be driving a goddamn tractor out there if he was lucky, okay? A big overpaid jock with no sense of humor, taking himself much too seriously, just like the coach of the whole organization, by the way, and this guy comes down on his side, even though he stood there right in his face and put his ass on the line.
Suck my d-.
Exactly. What a spineless piece of turd you are, Mr. Mandich, okay? And DeFo there, of course, being, what did he say? Yeah. Unbelievable. Man, what a match made in heaven that is. 2 open lines a day at 751-9463, 751-WIOD, 1 on the green line. 1-800. See, and again, what Mandich totally ignores is how did this thing all start? How did the thing all start? It started a year ago this past summer when Phil did his first Brian Cox thing, which was funny as hell, just like it always is. And Brian, being the big star that he is, like a spoiled child, didn't have any sense of humor about that. And decided he was going to tell all his good buddies on the Dolphins, since he tells them what to do and instructs them in life, since evidently they can't make up their own goddamn minds. Oh, don't go on none of those shows. Shine IOD. Even though it is the Dolphin station, Rick and Suds go over there for the Dolphin player breakfast before the season this year. Nobody comes and talks to him because, again, Brian Cox told him to stay away. And Jim Mandich is concerned about the relationship between WIOD and the Miami Dolphins. I think he's got the thing upside down, baby. I think you got it ass backwards, Mandich. You got Brian's ass in your puss is what your problem is.
You're not playing the good one of those, by the way.
I'm not playing the good one of those?
Suck my d-.
You like that better?
Yes.
Okay. 2 open lines a day at 751-9463. I think it's about time some of you started coming down on the right side, too, which is the side of truth and reality, not the side of IOD or the Dolphins or Brian Cox, just objectivity, okay? Anybody who doesn't have a sense of humor, and of course, and then the other episode a year ago last summer was when Phil did the thing on Shula. Another hysterical piece about the fact that Shula's not over there on the sideline. He's up mingling with the crowd in the skyboxes, having a couple of drinks. And Shula, who did Shula call to rip an ass? He called his intermediary, his lackey, old number 88, his lackey. He should be Jim Lackey, not Jim Mandich. Called him to cut him an ass. Oh, yeah, we got to cut this out because the brainstem is pissed off. Well, too goddamn bad. There's another guy can't take any criticism, who's getting paid, who's made millions of dollars off a stupid goddamn game of football. And this guy, if he's criticized even just a little bit, if somebody gets their nose out of joint just a little bit with him, right away he's pissed off. And the criticism was mean, and it was cruel, and it was uncalled for. Yeah, you're just like all the others, baby. You're a goddamn football coach, okay? So get with the program. And by the way, your team sucks. Here's a mobile in Boca. Hello.
The Dolphins make me sick. Hockey.
Yeah. Now, there's a real sport and a real coach, just like even Mandich said. Those are real men, not a bunch of overgrown spoil sports, a bunch of pansies who every time they get a hangnail, they have to go running to the locker room. Open line at Dade, 751-9463, 751-W. This station stands for nothing. This station stands for something that you haven't got, Mandich, and that's balls. This station's got the balls to go on and say a lot of outrageous things and to criticize a lot of very popular people when they deserve to be criticized, and to do whatever the hell it takes, to make people think and be a little bit provocative. This guy's about as provocative as a turd in a goddamn punch bowl. That's how provocative he is. Always the shill. Always the yes man. Always kissing the ass. Anybody that wears that uniform. And let me say it again. The best example of that was this goddamn freak Steve Entman, before he came to the Dolphins. And I'll never forget it. I was in the car on a weekend listening to Sports Talk one night, and he's going on at great length. The caller says, well, what do you think? Should they sign Steve Entman? And he's saying, oh, this guy is a case. He's like an obvious steroid case. And he's saying things that, in my opinion, talk about lawsuits, are actionable. He's speculating that this guy's done more steroids than Carter's got pills. Makes Jose Canseco look like a piker. And no, that's not the kind of guy you want, because he's fragile as a China doll, and the first time there's a hit out there, his legs are going to just break like a China doll, and steroids make your bones brittle, and he's going on. And then they sign him on the team, and right away, he's sucking his ass. How do you like that? He's sucking the big one.
The only radio station that doesn't suck. 610 WIOD, Miami, Fort Lauderdale. News, talk, and entertainment radio. 610 WIOD.
Fatal fire in Miami. Good morning at 11 o'clock. I'm Terry Griffin. News, talk, and entertainment radio, 610 WIOD, brought to you by South Florida Ford. It's 73 right now in South Florida. Next news at noon, bulletins at once. I'm Terry Griffin. News, talk, and entertainment radio, 610 WIOD.
I know you're nervous. You're stumbling a little bit. We're all nervous because we're under a lot of pressure. Mandich has just threatened to take over the radio station, to blow up the building if we don't come back and, say it like it ain't. Anyway, it's 11:05. I've noticed, by the way, speaking of the Dolphins, that there are a lot of games this season where they've given up gigantic numbers of points to teams that ordinarily cannot score. Have you noticed that? Like the New England Patriots, who've had a woeful time of scoring points all season long in spite of having Bledsoe. And 34 points sounds like a hell of a lot of points to me, but I don't want to dwell on that.
It's not just Hank Goldberg. It's a hippopotamus.
Any more than I have to, other than the rest of the show today and probably the rest of the week. This Mandich thing is just so absolutely incredible. And also with this Rachel Alexander with this twisted story, I think you better get your history right, sweetheart, and find out the origins of this real thing. She does make reference to the fact that last summer Phil was doing the thing on Brian Cox. She doesn't make any reference to the thing about Shula and the fact that Mandich was the intermediary there acting on behalf of his close personal buddy. I'll tell you one thing, okay, and I hate to say this. I hate to say it, but I'll say it anyway. At least Joe Rose, the guy with the big gap in his teeth there that should never be on TV, at least Joe Rose, who's another former Dolphin player, by the way, not exactly in the caliber of Mandich. Well, both marginal. But anyway, Joe Rose, at least he goes on here and he's not a shill. He rips Shula an ass when he deserves it. And we got the ex-Dolphin there who I once upon a time thought had got some balls, unless when it counts, okay? I thought this guy had a real pair, and it turns out he does, but they're like BBs. They're like ball bearings is what this man has for balls. How do you like that? And it does have a bearing on what's going on here, man. We're not going to shill for the Dolphin just because we're the Dolphin station. We never have, except him. Even Mr. Weaver, man. All he had to do was, think about making a bad play, and right away he turned on him like a rat, which I'm not saying we have to do. But you'll recall those days, I'm sure those of you veterans who suffered through that and probably wish you were still suffering from it because guess what we got now? Like I said, guess what we got now is what I said. There you go. Okay, we have an open line on the AT&T Wireless, the purple line, pound IOD, one on the green line on this cathartic Monday. We're going to get it out of our systems. It's more than just a goddamn ball game. It's a whole philosophy of life, evidently. This Mandich, and DeFo, DeFo's problem is he's too nice of a guy, He's just an old corny guy. You don't expect guys from New York to be corny, but DeFo is. He's got more corn in 10 minutes than you'll find in the whole state of Iowa. But that's just the way he is. And he's not a confrontational guy. So when Mandich, just out of the blue, turned on him like a rat, like a cornered rat, I guess he just didn't know what to do except extend that tongue. A lot of people extending a lot of tongues these days. Here's a mobile on the alley. Hello?
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Never called you before. I've been listening since before the bird.
Yes?
Neil, the thing is that...
Yeah?
Brian Cox is an asshole. He has got the worst attitude of any ball player I've ever seen.
I think that we can unanimously agree, except for Mandich, Brian Cox is an asshole. I think we can agree with that.
Suck my dick.
Yeah.
And the thing is I don't believe he's an asset to the team, and I think Phil Hendrie is a genius.
Yes, he is.
And I have one other thing to say.
If that's what it comes down to, my choosing between Phil Hendrie and Brian Cox, that's a no-brainer. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And it's not even a contest.
Yeah, but let me say something
On tape later. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
It is.
Bye.
Okay, pal. See, the audience, they got their priorities right. They know what the hell's going on because they've been following this thing for like a year and a half now. They've seen the origins of it. And if you're going to be in the public spotlight, if you're going to be in the public eye and you don't have a sense of humor, then you've got a real problem. But I think today we can, maybe there will be a couple of suckholes out there, but I think it's almost unanimous. We can agree that Brian Cox is...
asshole!
Exactly. And now, of course, Brian's going to have to go speak in the schools, telling little kids, oh, my kids are all upset and I'm not an asshole. Well, how do you prove that? How do you prove it? I mean, he went around speaking to kids to prove that he wasn't out of control and a maniac or a lunatic, whatever they were calling him in the media. So now he's going to have to run around to school, first telling the kids that he's not homo, and number two, that he's not an...
asshole!
How do you do that? Because, quite frankly, I know that if I'm a jock after a ball game, even if it was a tough game or a good game or whatever, and that was after a win, that was after they won the goddamn game, and I talked to a guy who's supposedly a friend of mine and a shill for me all the time, and I look him in the face and I say,
suck my dick.
Then I'm an asshole. Agreed? Agreed?
Yes.
Okay. So we can all be in agreement, right?
Yes.
Here's Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Okay.
Welcome back.
Thank you so
Your
much.
mini vacation.
Yeah, it was great.
I have a
Vegas
little
is
tune
sensational.
for you.
It's always better when you win. Yes?
A little mini
You got a little one?
jingle.
Okay.
Brian Cox, he makes me ill till I throw up some chunks with a suck my duck and give Mandich the bone. Please go back home and make your boyfriend moan. Oh!
All right.
Thank you.
See ya. Okay, that was Joe Rose doing a voice. We have an open line in Broward, 5249463. You know, with that gap tooth there, you never know that Joe could do voices that well. It's 10 after 11 at WIOD. Now's the time to get your home ready for the holidays. They're almost here. They're almost upon us, baby. It's time to give your home a brand new look by replacing that worn-out, out-of-style wallpaper. Forget going over to the home supply stores. Forget monkeying around with that. Forget about those overpriced fancy wallpaper stores. Call the in-home wallpaper shopping service, Wallpaper by K. Thomas. They make the whole deal a breeze. Just one phone call and Tommy Cortez comes right to your house, takes a look at the construction of your walls, and tells you what kind of paper is right for you. You'll get to choose your paper right in your home, and that gives you a better idea of what it's going to look like when it's up. Finally, the Wallpaper by K. Thomas professionals, never subcontractors from off a banana boat. The pros come in and get your job done perfectly, as well as could be done under the sun. Wallpaper, let me say it again. Wallpaper by K. Thomas is the only place that'll give you a 2-year guarantee on both the paper and the labor. In other words, you can't beat them. Call the pros who come right to you and do a great job every time, whether it's one room, a whole house, whatever. Wallpaper by K. Thomas. Call 1-800-749-HANG. 1-800-749-HANG.
You know what they do really need at the Panthers games?
What's that?
Every time somebody scores a goal, they throw rats out onto the ice.
So let's do that for the Dolphins. Get them going. Every time they score a touchdown, we'll throw an effigy of Brian Cox out on the field.
Well, it's kind of like a rat.
It's kind of an insult to rats.
And then when they score, you'd say, hey, throw out your Brian, because I'm not going to say what you think I'm going to say.
Rick and Suds, 6 to 10 a.m. on News, Talk, and Entertainment Radio, 610 WIOD.
Look at the tits on that blonde, man.
11:13 at WIOD. Why did I just play that? I'll tell you why. Because here's a man we just got through hearing him say like 20 minutes ago about he lives in a world where there's blacks and whites and no shades of gray, where everything is either right or wrong, which of course is a crock of crap. But nevertheless, didn't he just say that? That something is either right or wrong, and that if there are like 7 words that you're not allowed by the FCC to say on the air, that even if you're a jock, you still can't say it on the air?
Look at the tits on that blonde, man.
Right there from WIOD Radio about 2 years ago. Right on Sports Talk, okay? You see, Mandich, you don't practice what you preach, baby. You're a goddamn hypocrite, and you try any way under the sun to rationalize your ass-sucking performance when it comes to Don Shula, Dan Marino, or anybody who wears that goddamn Dolphin uniform, the assistant coaches who are inept as the day is long. Oh, yeah, but I don't know anything about it. He's the expert. You see, when you're too close to a situation, you have no objectivity. You can't be the expert. You're right in the middle of it. When you're right there in the locker room, dropping that soap, leaning, oh, here, let me pick it up for you, okay? Then you got a little bit of a problem being objective. You can't see the forest for the knees. Huh? Isn't that our new slogan in the locker room? You can't see the forest for Denise. Denise? How'd she get into this? Here's Boca. Hello.
How you doing, Neil?
Okay, sir.
You have a nice vacation?
It wasn't a vacation. I just went for a 3-day weekend.
Okay.
Don't keep saying vacation because I have a vacation coming up, and then everybody's going to say, another vacation already?
Okay, I got 2 spy reports for you.
Wasn't it a holiday Friday? It was Veterans Day.
Randy's tapes were pitiful.
Yeah.
I had to turn the channel.
Really?
Yes, they were pretty bad. Pretty lame. And I got another one for you. Is Hank Goldberg the #1 rated talk show host in the 2 to 6 slot?
No, he is absolutely not.
Well, that's what they're claiming on QAM.
Yeah.
They said that all
in
Friday.
one demographic. Well, that so what they're look. They can say they're #1 in pygmies. Nobody with a brain believes any of that crap.
Right.
Okay.
I think I know the problem with Brian Cox.
Yeah.
It's called steroid rage.
Is that what it is?
Too much steroid.
You're the one that said that. Maybe Steve Ettman came into town and loaned him some. See, to me, if there was anything that was actionable concerning sports that's ever been said on this station, it was Mandich ripping into Ettman about steroids when he was only guessing. Now, he could be correct. I don't know for sure, but that to me seems actionable. You know what I'm saying?
10-4.
Right.
I hear you. Hey, buddy, the Panthers are looking really good. And
they're
that Rod
kicking ass.
Niemeyer, he's doing it.
He is doing it. And Radek Dvorak, they are doing it. Of course, tomorrow night I'm going to have a little bit of a problem because it's the one visit by my Toronto Maple Leafs into town every year. And I will be wearing my Maple Leaf jacket, my blue and white. And you know something? If you don't like it, too bad, okay? I'll try to be quiet. I'll try to suppress my emotions and not make too much of a jackass out of myself. But when you've been a fan of a team for 37 years, you don't just, and especially you don't give it up for a team that's going to be leaving any minute. As much as I love my Panthers, and I do, and yes, I will be there at the Vancouver game Thursday night, but tomorrow night, it's, you'll have to excuse me, okay? Here's Boca on 8. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
What is it?
How you doing?
I did good.
I got your
How
CD
you did?
I got your CD yesterday. Excellent. They didn't have it in Boca, though. Not as Borders book.
It's what?
There's no CD in for Borders book.
Not
Boca.
yet. Opening any day, though, in Fort Lauderdale.
No,
and
it's
Boca.
open. It's open, but your CD isn't there. None of the 610 CDs are there.
They're not?
Nope.
Why not?
I have no idea. They didn't have even heard of you. I was like, Neil Rogers. Who?
Are you crapping me?
I'm sure.
Borders, well, we'll straighten their ass out.
I just question. I was listening to a spot on a Zeta yesterday, and at the end of the spot it said, if you don't listen to some show, you don't know the D-I-C-K word that Cox said.
Yeah. If you don't listen to the show, you don't know Dick?
Yeah.
Well, that's probably the PD over there.
How come you have to bleep out the...
Because it depends on usage.
All
like you can say Spotted Dick, which you got to know something about. Are you British?
Yep.
Well, you know Spotted Dick.
That's true.
Probably a lot of guys over having lunch are going to be having that today.
All right, Neil.
Okay.
Of course, I'm going to be a douchebag.
Yes, sir?
Lon Murphy, you're up, you're playing douchebag.
Okay, ta-ta. We have an open line. Isn't that what they have for lunch over at the Dolphin Training Headquarters? Spotted Dick. Maybe, now wait a minute. You know something? It just dawns on me. Maybe we misunderstood that. Maybe Brian was offering Mandich a little snack.
Suck my dick.
You know what I'm saying? Huh? Didn't the Dolphins play in... no, they played in Japan one year. I'm wondering if they ever played an exhibitionist game in England. We'll figure it out. Here's Miami. Hello.
Hello.
Buenos dias. Yes, sir.
What about those Dolphins, Neil?
They're doing it.
Yeah, your
They're doing it with great regularity.
Your Patriots finally got those Dolphins.
Yep. Well, see, when we play a girls' team, we have a chance of winning.
Yeah, I want to see them call in now and talk about the Dolphins. So much.
Give me crap about Drew Bledsoe and about how they don't have any receivers. Brisbee made one hell of a nice catch there. And how about that deflection catch that Coates caught for the touchdown in the end zone? That looked pretty good to me. And Curtis Martin running like a maniac. They looked okay to me yesterday. They're coming along.
What about that girl Marino?
Yep. Breaking all the records. And then all the, oops, there goes the ball.
One thing, I just started the Atkins diet.
Yeah.
And I can't eat no eggs. What do I eat for breakfast?
What do you mean you can't eat no eggs?
I'm allergic to it.
Oh, I see. How about bacon? How about ham?
Okay.
How about like a breakfast steak? How about sausages?
Okay, now sausage, you can't get the one with sugar in it, though, right?
You just forget about the sugar. If it's got no nitrates and if it's got like very little sugar, don't worry about it.
Okay.
You got to check the carb grams. That's the only thing you need to worry about is carbohydrates.
Okay, Neil.
Okay.
In closing, douchebag, Heisinger.
Okay.
Okay.
See ya. He didn't call Wayne a douchebag, did he? My God. All these owners, man, all you sports owners, kiss our ass.
Wayne
If you were a sports fan, how'd you like to be living in Houston right now? They're getting the double whammy. The Astros, we're leaving, and the Oilers, we're leaving. In fact, the Oilers were leaving. They should pack them a sandwich. Say, good riddance. Oh, and then part of the deal with the Oilers is that one of the things that they were, and also with the Astros, they want a new stadium by the end of the century, which is like in 5 years or less. They got the Astrodome, which granted was built back in the 60s, but it was the first dome stadium and still in pretty damn good shape. But this is the new deal now. Either build me a new stadium or I'm going to pick up my goodies and leave. Well, see ya. Huh? I think the sports fans, all 10 of us left in America because people are getting pretty goddamn disgusted paying this big money, ought to get together and send a message to all these owners.
See ya.
Yeah. I like that. Why, do I get to go to Cleveland now?
See ya.
What is...
See ya.
Is that the same one that's on here or not? Wait a minute.
See ya.
Oh, it is. Because it's got that little extra thing on it, which I don't think the other one. One moment, please. Okay, I'm just checking my goods here. How's he doing, by the way? How's his prostate? Is he okay?
We don't know.
And wait a minute. What do you mean we don't know? Hasn't he called in to see how we're doing?
A tumor.
You heard it was not a tumor? What is it?
An infection.
It was just an infection?
See ya, buddy.
And I was feeling so sorry for him. Now let's start ripping him again. Okay, we have an open line in Dade, 751. Are you serious?
That's the rumor.
Oh, the rumor is Jazz McKay does not have a big tumor on his prostate. It's just an infection. I wonder where a guy like that would get an infection. Here's probably on his prostate. Here's Miami Beach. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Yes, good morning. Welcome home.
Thanks.
Yeah, you already heard it. Randy Rhoads was pathetic because of the
Yeah.
tape anyhow. Neil, I'm calling specifically about Phil Hendrie. I know you think he's a genius.
No, I don't think. Now, didn't you call me once before with the same comments?
No, sir, never.
Okay.
Okay.
Never did. This is the first time I've called you.
Okay.
I've listened to you for 20 years.
Because anybody that starts messing with Phil Hendrie is going to have to step over my body, I'll tell you that.
Well, this is my problem. My problem is that my wife's grandmother called him a week ago in the afternoon.
What did she call him?
Called him to speak to him on the telephone.
Yeah.
Phil had my wife's grandmother on the floor dialing the telephone.
Oh, I love it.
With her nose.
She was the moron, huh?
Yeah, but the problem
Beautiful.
is that, Neil, it's beautiful up to a point. The problem is the lady had a heart attack
Yeah.
while she was on the floor
Yeah, right.
dialing her telephone with her nose.
This was your mother-in-law?
My wife's grandmother.
Oh, your wife's grandmother. Well, you should be having a party then.
All right. Have a nice life.
Okay. Boy, that was weak, huh? That was really lame. Who's that guy? Was that one of the writers for the Sun Sentinel? That was probably Ray Wretched. We have an open line in Dade, 75194. That was so lame, pal. That was so weak. See, that's the sense of humor of the people out there. When you find somebody with a real sense of humor like Phil Hendrie, you should cherish him and cuddle him and suck his ass instead of like ripping him like this Rachel bitch at the Sun Sentinel wouldn't know a good radio show if they stuffed the whole goddamn radio up her butt. You're a simpleton, Rachel, okay? Another one of Andy's friends. What does that tell you? I'm sorry, Randy. I don't mean you. Andy Kalb. One of his friends. That answers it all to me. 11:22 at WIOD. When you consider auto security, think about this. Over 90% of the stolen cars found with LoJack also had alarm systems. Some of them even had factory alarm systems. But these cars were stolen and had to be found using LoJack, the stolen vehicle recovery system. Because guess what? The alarms didn't get them back. Don't rely on half a security system. A factory alarm is great. It's a good start to protect your car from joyriders or amateur thieves, but no factory alarm can defeat the dedicated professional thieves who strip your car for parts. They know how to get it. So to beat the pros, you got to add LoJack's stolen vehicle recovery device to your alarm system for total security. When you visit your new or used car dealer, ask about LoJack's free car alarm offer. LoJack will help make sure your car is fully protected from the amateurs and the professionals alike. So get the lowdown on LoJack on participating auto dealers in South Florida, which is just about all of them, or call his toll-free number, and they'll help set you up with a LoJack in the car you're driving now. 1-800-53-LoJack. 1-800-535-6522 for LoJack, the stolen vehicle recovery system that gives you peace of mind, and guess what? It works.
Kick your way to the Super Bowl with Miller Lite and 610 WIOD. Listen every day. We'll direct you to a Flanagan's Cafe or Big Daddy's Liquor Store when the 610 WIOD armored car arrives. Registration begins. Lunchtime and happy hour locations change every day. So listen and kick your way to the Super Bowl with Miller Lite and News, Talk, and Entertainment Radio. 610 WIOD.
Hey, Neil. This is Randy West. And if you can't tell the difference between me and Ron Jeremy, you should try girls.
Stalking Madonna, peering through her screen. What did you hope to see you hadn't already seen? Jumping over her fence, snooping round her trees. Don't get too close to her, you might catch a disease. You said you wish to marry or to kill her. Why don't you just make up your freaking mind? Your voyeurism with Madonna thrills her. See her behind. Stalking Madonna, dying to get a look. For your hassle, you could have bought her stupid sex book.
Okay, 11:28 at WID, where we stand for something. We'll figure out what it is. We stand for being like irreverent. How's that? Huh? There's a good word. We're irreverent, and we don't have no sacred cows here, even if they do wear a goddamn jockstrap. How do you like that, Mandich? And by the way, 5-0 against the girls' school in Michigan, right there in Ann Arbor, in front of 103,000 people. Oh my God! Against Purdue. Even Bob Greasy don't root for Purdue anymore. That's how bad they are. Okay. Unbelievable. 5-0. Michigan State, by the way, pounded Indiana right there in Indiana. I just thought I would mention that. The same Michigan State team that beat up on Michigan the week before, I just thought I would mention that too, and came from behind twice in the late stages and kicked their ass in East Lansing. So I think that's what's causing him to go through this period. Maybe he needs to pull the string. Here's Pompano. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, those Dolphins suck.
Yeah.
Hey, how about, you ever watch the Shula Show?
Yeah, but if they win next weekend, somebody will be calling saying, hey, how about those Dolphins? Super Bowl, baby.
Right. You ever
No,
watch
I do not watch the Shula Show under penalty of death.
Watch it for a minute and watch Shula's hands, man. They shake like hell.
Somebody was telling me he's becoming like Howard Cosell Jr.
I think on IOD from now on, instead of shoes, we call them shakes.
I like it.
You know?
Shoes and shakes.
We'll call him shakes.
Don Shula,
Oh! I like it.
How about, what happens to these players like Eric Green and Entman and them? They're great. Trace Armstrong. Then they get to the Dolphins, they suck.
Yeah, how about Terrell Buckley? Although he wasn't great in Green Bay, they booed his ass out of there, and the Dolphins didn't learn their lesson.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing. The Dolphins secondary, man, you can't complain about their play because they don't.
They call J.B. Brown, J.B. Burns.
Yep, toast.
How about Stoyanovich missed another 20-yarder?
Oh, did he?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, like
I didn't see the game because it was over.
And it was only going to be 18-yarder, but Brian Cox jumped offside, so it was a 10-yard penalty.
10-yard penalty for offside?
Yeah, for offside.
How do you get a 10-yard penalty for offside?
Or whatever it was, 5 yards.
Yeah.
So it was 5 yards back. So
But then he also threw his helmet down there before they haven't got a 15.
He says he always does that, though.
Yeah.
You know,
They just don't usually catch it.
And I got a bigger ass licker than Mandich ever was. Cephalo.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, but he's got a lot of practice.
Yeah.
From what
All
I
right,
hear.
in closing,
Yes?
Mandich, you suckhole.
Okay. I like that. A little more enthusiasm, though, next time. I'm not going to do it myself because that would be bad, and then he might take it personal, which I don't really care because he's an ass licker, man. Mandich is a professional ass licker. I read this guy. I mean, I knew he was a homer. Not homer. But I didn't realize just the extent to which it goes. I mean, this transcends. It's like most of these jocks, especially in football, more so than in any other sport. To them, that's the beginning and the end. In other words, their whole existence, like Shula, is football. Can you imagine sitting down and talking to Don Shula about the assassination of Yitzhak Rabin for a couple of minutes? Can you imagine that? He wouldn't know Yitzhak Rabin from Marv Levy. Oh, that other Jewish guy. Yeah, I know him, yeah. Seriously, stop and think about that for a minute. Hey, Johnny D, how you doing? By the way, they say hi at KISS. They want to give you a big one. Yeah. By the way, Johnny Dolan's got a message for all the people over at WQAM and KISS. I don't know if we can say it on the air or not. I think he was saying.
Suck my dick.
There it was. We have an open line on the green line, 1-800-944-9463, 1-800-944-WIOD. Do you ever see Johnny and Alfred the Chipmunk together, by the way? Here's Homestead on the purple line. Hello. Homestead on that purple line. They got that radio blasting in the back. Man, oh, man. Just imagine the hours of free entertainment they're getting. Okay, up your ass. Open line on the purple line, pound IOD. Let's do Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
I heard the Randy Rhoads show on Friday.
Yeah.
It was a little surprising tuning in to hear the Neil Rogers, the best of, and hearing Randy Rhoads' last show.
The worst of, yeah.
Okay.
And I don't see what
Don't ask me what it's all about. This was another Steve Nickel production. Don't ask me.
Well, what they were trying to do was during the promos and the rejoins, you had Mr. Big Deep Voice saying, this is the show where Randy Rhoads lost it on the air.
Yeah.
And she didn't do anything. All she did was just say, I'm sick of this place. I hate these people. I'm quitting on Monday, and I'm just saying goodbye tonight.
Yeah, so in other words, they were trying to make her look bad, and she made this place look bad.
Yeah, they were trying to make her look like it was like another Alex Bennett thing where he just went crazy on the air.
Yeah.
And all she said was, this place sucks.
Mm-hmm.
I hate the management.
Right.
When I quit on Monday, they won't let me come back and say goodbye, so I'm going to say goodbye tonight.
Everything right so far, right.
And so I don't know where they get off thinking that, this is going to make Randy look crazy or something.
Maybe this was our way of apologizing, giving her a chance, getting a little bit of apology in.
And
the
it
way
was
she
funny.
was treated here.
The funny thing was her last show, which is a year and a half ago?
Right.
She's telling everyone, I've got these offers from here and these offers from there, and I've got a whole thing lined up, and where is she now? J&O?
West Palm Beach.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, but at least she's not here, though, sir.
And that
even if it was only J&O, she's not here.
And
There's
that jackass who called up about Phil Hendrie.
Yeah.
He called Phil last week. He
Yeah.
called Phil Hendrie last week,
With the
too.
same
But it was his
routine?
mother last time.
Oh, give
My
me a
mother
break.
had a heart attack.
Another one of
Phil.
these old farts who wishes that vaudeville were still around so he could be doing a thing over there on the beach, I mean, this guy's an asshole.
Mm-hmm. Phil is God.
Probably hangs out with Mandich. Okay, pal.
Bye.
See ya. Yeah, Phil is God. Okay, see, I know this comes as a very revolutionary concept. I want to tell you something, and I want you to listen very closely. And this is something that disturbs me greatly about consultants and about a lot of program directors, a lot of people in radio and television. You can sit down and you can listen to something if you have any kind of knowledge, any kind of understanding of the industry. And you can listen to somebody, and, there's some people that are like borderline, and you might waver, and somebody might think, or because they like the person personally, they might think, yeah, well, they'll be okay. But if somebody is outstanding, you can tell. You can hear it. You don't have to have somebody come along and say, well, I'm going to give you a big song and a dance and dissect their whole act. You don't need that. If somebody's good, you know it. Phil Hendrie isn't good. Phil Hendrie is great. And I'm not just saying this because he's on this station, because we've had Dickie Farkle on this station. We've had Larry Justice on this station. We had Drew Michaels on this station. We had Joey Reynolds on this station. We've had so many losers on this station, it's unbelievable. And I never came on here and said, oh, man, that Dickie Farkle, he's going to be great at night. Did I ever say that? Of course not. I told you he sucked. And he did, and he still does. He's another one up there in Palm Beach. But Phil Hendrie is a rare talent. You have to search long.